Evening all.
Right then, evening all.
Yes. So we're here tonight to do our live stream. It's so lovely to see everyone in the comments already. And looks like you've got some very good questions for Dan, the cruiser, who's our travel agent, who will be joining us shortly.
He will indeed.
So I'm just going to say a quick hello to a few people that have joined us. I know Claire, I'll give a Clay tape to share. A Clay tape to share? Oh, that's a good start.
What are we in
it?
then? What's that? 23 seconds before Carole's teeth fall
I'm on
out.
the coffee.
God,
oh my gosh! So Claire, gonna do it again.
Shout out to Claire, who unfortunately can't make it tonight.
Yes. But I know she'll be on catch up. So I hope you had a good evening. So So Nick's here, so love to see Nick. And actually, Nick's gone straight into looks like gone straight into questions for Dan. So let's see. And Anne's put, as low as Anne and Mike here. Even though, hi Dan, the main man is in the building. Sorry, Paul, you've been demoted. Oh, how hurtful.
Welcome to my life, Anne.
Right then, I think without further ado, though, let's get Dan on. He's waiting backstage. He's in the green room. I watched too much Graham Norton.
It's not green, it's white. I can see it.
So let's bring Dan on stage now.
Dan on stage.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Dan.
So a normal format for our lives, you can ask us anything and you can ask Dan anything. I see Kevin's already on the ball with, if you've got a question, please start it with questions so we can see it in the comments and that Dan can read them too. But you're like there.
Well, Carole said to me, when we're having a drink tonight, make sure we use the merch cups. But I've already drank it all, so I'm on to my can of Coke now.
Anyway, so let's start right from the very beginning. Do you want to sing along, Pauline?
It's a very good place to start.
It is. So Nick's come up with a question to start. So let's get straight in then, Dan, straight in the deep end. And as asking Dan, we booked through a high street TA and service is good. Is there anything you can do to make a booking a cruise more pleasurable? Discounts, onboard credit, etc. You come highly recommended.
Well, before Dan starts answering, the service is good. The service with Dan isn't good. The service with Dan is excellent. So there's one thing straight away.
Okay.
Over to you, Dan.
I think when I look at it, booking a cruise more pleasurable, it depends kind of what you're looking for. If you're looking for an agent that's not just going to be there 9 to 5 or when a high street store is open, then using myself or anyone that's willing to go outside of those times, if you even just have a question at, don't want to say it like midnight because I do work then, but I shouldn't. Even like 8 o'clock in the evening, then you can just ping me a message and I'm more than happy to answer. I tend not to discount if I can help it, just because it devalues us a little bit. But I'll always look to see what I can do. We always have some decent rates with cruise lines anyway that are occasionally better than some of the agents out there, but it all varies. But yeah, I'm more than happy to look at anything. Just send it over and I can see what I can do for you.
Yeah, exactly that. I think Paul hit it on the head there. With we've used lots of agents and we've used lots of agencies in the past, and what we find with Dan, it does is go over and beyond that. So like you say, when we're worried about something, a simple message, a simple WhatsApp, and it's just peace of mind, isn't it? And when you're away, when we've had a couple of issues, we haven't had huge issues with sort of hotel stays and that, but a couple of little queries have come in. I've just WhatsApped Dan straight away and it's sorted there and then. So that's been awesome. So let's just have a look down to see. So Hawks Travel's here. So Jim and Dwayne, so nice to see you guys. Tony G's in the house as well. We've mentioned Kevin, who's working in the background, one of our moderators who keeps us on track. So that's good.
Keeps us on track.
Well,
does he moderate
keeps me
us
on
as
track?
Well?
Nobody can keep you on track, that's for sure. And Patrick and Francis are here. Lovely Patrick and Francis. Even all a big hello from Patrick and Francis. Looking forward to catching up with Dan the man. That's right. Barbara's watching from a very cold height of Dorset. It is so cold, isn't it? Well, we had our Patreon live last night, and we were saying, "Oh my God, isn't it cold in the UK?" And then Kevin Austin threw in that it was minus 36.
Minus 37. Kevin, he's always got to one up everybody.
So and we can't just imagine that, can we? Those sort of temperatures.
Well, like I said, the only thing I can compare it to is Carole's feet when she puts them on me at night.
Yes, exactly that. Kevin's also put a link. So during this live, if you want to get in contact with Dan, then we've got a link on our website, and also there's the links and his phone number, etc., in the description. But let's go straight to the next question, which I've seen here was from Rose. So lovely to see Rose here. So hi Dan, are Celebrity Cruises charging 100% plus for solo UK bookings?
On the majority of sailings at the moment, yes. It was something I saw your comment before we came on, and I had to have a quick check. But at the moment, yes, they are. They do some solo offers, but they come and go. I think it all depends on how close to sailing they are and how many cabins they've got left. I know that Celebrity Apex for this year has sold really, really well. So they're obviously more inclined to try and sell it at full retail fare, at full whack to people than they are to reduce it for solos, unfortunately. Obviously, they do have solo cabins, but obviously very, very limited numbers of them, which get snapped up straight away, and can often be more expensive than the standard. So at the moment, yeah, unfortunately, it is high.
It's exciting to have an edge class ship in the UK, isn't it? Because it's the first time. So that was always going to do well. But we looked at that, didn't we? But the prices were pretty bonkers, yeah. So H. Tomo's here. So nice to see you here. Need a holiday to Northern Lights. I must have bad reviews. Would you go with them? Not at the moment. We've looked at them. We've looked at the reviews of them. There's some really good points, and there's some really things that are for us that just aren't what we like. So, and a lot of their sailings go out of Tilbury, which isn't convenient for us. They are looking at doing a few at Bristol, but then there wasn't itineraries that we liked. So the whole combination of everything at the moment it's not on our to-do list, is it?
It's not certainly on our radar at the moment.
No,
but we never say never.
Exactly, that could change.
Never say never, but it's a bit too 40 Towers-ish for my liking at the moment.
Well, it seems that way on some elements, doesn't it? Which is a shame.
Yeah. And we've heard the food's good and the entertainment's good. Yeah, they're just elements of like, the tellies don't work in the rooms, the air conditioning hasn't worked since they launched. This is wrong, that's wrong, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap. We've looked, like Dan's come give us some prices, and it's like, oh, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it'd have to
we would expect them, and maybe I'm out of turn to say this, but I would expect them to be along the same sort of pricing as MSC, but they're not, are they at all? But in our head, from a quality point of view, and from our experience on MSC. But let's see. So Cruising Gaze here is a bit chilly. We've just been talking about the weather. Morris is here. Looking forward to a good chat. So Susan, next question is from Susan. I've been looking at Viking Norwegian Cruise for June, July 2025. Viking is requiring final payment in June 2024. Yes, we've heard that. That's mad, isn't it, Dan?
It is. I've known that that's been a rule in the US. Now, sure, I'll go quite quick on it, but Viking have only just started to take back some UK agents. So originally they went nearly all direct, so no agents could book it. They've now started to bring a few on. We've just got our contract back with them, so we can now start rebooking them. When we used to be able to book them before, balance due date was 3 months before, as per most cruise lines. I'm not 100% sure on what their terms are now. I know in the US it can be 12 months. And I know that if you have sailed with Viking before, I believe it is 6 months. But I think it also varies depending on UK, US, where you're booking from. But I can have a look at that. It's not a problem. I can have a look at the terms and see what is coming out. But a year in advance is a long way. I very much wouldn't be paying a year in advance because you don't know what's going to happen.
No. And you can book for the US clients?
Should be the only issue will come with, obviously, with Viking flights are included.
Okay.
So it's something that we can look at, which shouldn't be an issue, but we just have to ask them.
Okay,
But the
fab.
best thing to do on that is if you go onto our website, there's a booking form. Fill that out. That'll go straight through to Dan.
Yeah.
And then he'll have your contact details, and he can tell you exactly what he can do for you.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So Jim and Dwayne are asking, is it better to pay your balance early when you've booked a guaranteed cabin with option of upgrade, or will it make no difference?
As far as I'm aware, it will make no difference whatsoever. All it will mean is that the cruise line will get a bit more interest on your money rather than you. Not that the interest rates are very high at the moment, but it won't make a difference.
Okay. Andy and Carla just saying, even though looking forward to the lives, it'll be a last one for a couple of weeks. Yes, Andy and Carla, we've just been chatting on our Discord, and they're off to Iona at the weekend, aren't they? So have a fabulous time. I think Susan's question there, we've just answered that, haven't we? So that's fine. So many people saying hello. So lovely to see you all in the chat there. But let's see if we can get to look at everyone here. Isn't it lovely to see them all here? So Andy and Carla's asking, how long in advance can you normally book excursion with Princess? I noticed they're on for our cruise on Caribbean Princess in September, but I'm wondering for the group cruise in May 2025.
Group cruise, they're open. There's with Princess, there's no set time. There's, as far as I'm aware, there's not really a set time with many cruise lines. A few, it's a year in advance, but I know that there's a few like Princess. As soon as they've got the contracts, so for example, they will have contracts with suppliers for a season. So where Sky Princess is going to be in the UK for the summer season, they will have contracts in place with the different excursion providers. So as soon as they've got those sorted, they will put them out because obviously they would rather take the money. But yeah, for the group cruise, it's open, and Princess do open quite early for excursions.
Yeah.
Because again, it's the money issue. They'd rather have your dollar than in their bank than in your bank. So yeah.
So Davcat Travels here and asking Dan, I often hear about mainly US folk getting refunds when cabin prices drop. And is this a US only thing, or is it worth keeping an eye on prices here in the UK as well?
So the US is a completely different market, and I've learned that recently over the last few months. The US generally will pay a deposit, but it's a refundable deposit. They will also get price match. So if they could put a deposit of $1,000, for example, and then their cruise could go down in value by $1,000, and they can call up and they'll get it at the lower price without anything happening. In the UK, over COVID, we used to be able to, and that's why, for example, Paul and Carole, when they did Beyond, we managed to get the price. They still paid the same price, but we managed to get extra onboard credit to cover the difference. Now they've reverted back to what it was previously, where you can't get a price match. The only thing I recommend people doing is booking when there's a low deposit. So for example, when P&O do their launches, they're either 5 or 10% deposits. Princess at the moment have got a £50 per person deposit. Book on a low deposit, because then you can keep an eye on the price, and if the price comes down by over the deposit you've paid, you can cancel at loss of deposit and rebook. So you can lose your £100, but you could end up saving £400 or £500. But obviously, if you've paid us £500 deposit, and then prices of the cruise has gone down by £400, there's no point in doing anything. No. It's unfortunately, it's just the way the market is. A perfect example, I think, the Cruise and Canucks with the group cruise. Obviously, they sort of looked at the price in the US, and one of your patrons, Dave, he looked at the price of the group cruise in the US, and the price of it in the US compared to the UK market was nearly £1,000 more, $1,000 more than what price we had. So the UK market does get good rates, especially for UK sailings, compared to the US. But obviously, the US gets more flexibility.
Well, also, and the Cruise and Canucks won't mind me saying, because they actually announced it on their live themselves on Sunday, they've booked for our group cruise, and Dan got them a better price than they could get in. No, he said US, Dave Holland.
And
did you say? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading
Canada.
Well, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I was busy reading the comments. So Beth is just saying, absolutely love the New York series, Paul and Carole. Thank you so much. for those that haven't seen it, we've got just two episodes of our time where we spent 7 days in New York. We had the most fantastic time, and the 2 videos are full of useful information if you're planning a trip there. So please do check them out.
It is. It's not just about us two waffling. Obviously, we do waffle in it, like I am now, but it's genuinely 2 really, really good videos that if you're considering going to New York, there's so many fabulous ideas in there. You'd be mad not to watch it.
Exactly. So many people saying hi. I can't give you all a shout out because it's just bonkers, isn't it? How many people are saying hello. But Hawks Travels, Jim and Jane said, not many tales, we chat with you at 10 p.m. Exactly that. And we wouldn't expect Dan. There's no way. I'm very conscious of not contacting him when I don't need to out of hours. However, should you be in that pickle, then it's just lovely to have that person on your side, isn't it?
And I think I think to sum up, for anybody else who's going to ask about, why should I book with Dan? It's not about when things go right. You know, if you go into Igloo and they're £2,000 cheaper than Dan, I can fully understand you doing what you're doing. But if you're arguing over £100, £200, is when something goes wrong. If you've never had anything go wrong, you think, well, it's all about the money. But when something goes wrong, you try and get somebody like Igloo, 118, whatever they're called, all these cruise companies, you'll never get out of anybody. You'll have to email them, you do this, you do that, and 3 months later, you'll be no further down the line than when you started. So it's not always all about the money.
No, it's not. Beth's asking a good question, I think, which is, for all I've never used a travel agent, what exactly do they offer that you don't get from booking yourself online? Also, does it bump up the cost of the holiday with their commission?
Nope. So the best way to explain it is if you see a cruise online for £1,000, it'll be the exact same price with us. What happens is the cruise line build in our commission into the fare. So the easiest way to explain it is if you book direct, you're giving all of your money to a multi-million, billion-pound company. If you book through a travel agent, you're giving a small percentage of the amount that you would have spent direct to a small business or a travel agent that earns off of it. So you're supporting another business instead of just one.
Yeah, that's a great way to explain it. I think we've said what do they offer, and I think exactly that, isn't it? That out of that service that you just don't get from.
But obviously, Beth is talking about booking directly with the cruise line. So you try phoning P&O now at 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock at night, and see if anybody answers the phone, or try and send them a message when you can't get something to work or your excursion is not showing, and the chances are.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen,
but it'd be very, very
just
difficult.
having that named person when you've got an issue. That's the biggest benefit that I think we found, having the named person to sort out issues, and not then going through to a centre where you might get a different person. We have to explain the same issues over again. So I think there's lots of benefits. Vic's just saying that even guys from Tropical Stonehouse, yes. That's just not far from us, and it's definitely not tropical. I don't have any questions, so I'll be lurking. And yes, Dan is an excellent agent, judging from our recent experience booking with him. Very impressed. So that's fab. And Paul's asking, what are Dan's contact details? After the live, you can have a look in the description below, and it'll show Dan's email address and his phone number. Also, this is just the booking form, the one on our website. So you can also contact, go to our website and just go to the drop-down menu or across the top if you're on a laptop, and you'll see bookings. Go there and you'll find Dan's details there.
And Paul, I've just had your email, so I will reply to you later.
Your email?
No.
Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul just found my email and sent it to me, so that's fine.
So Millie's just asking, hi Dan.
So we're just bigging you up, Dan, saying that you'll always answer people. Now you're too busy doing a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Who'd have thought? Do you charge a fee for your service? But I think you've just answered that, haven't you? Hopefully, Millie. Yep. So
no,
so Steve Evans is considering Norway Fjords cruise. Would you recommend it, and who is best to go with? Looking at Ambassador and Azamara.
Well, out of those two, I'd definitely go for the latter, if that was your two choices.
If your budget allows.
If your budget allows. I mean, Azamara would be more expensive, but if you can afford to go on Azamara,
Mind Azamara have got some very good deals at the moment, haven't they, Dan?
They have. The only thing to bear in mind is that Azamara won't do round trip out the UK. So if you're looking to go out the UK, Azamara won't be an option. If there are your options, maybe consider Cunard if you want to go out of the UK. Maybe possibly Cunard might fit better than Ambassador, possibly. Or if your budget stretched to it, someone like Fred Olsen do the fjords really, really well.
Yeah.
I've read Princess to, go to Norway and stuff.
Princess, we've done. I know that's our group cruise. We're going back to Norway, and we're going to Norway and Denmark. We're not doing the fjords though.
No.
But we've done Princess, we've done Cunard, and we've done Royal Caribbean, and they've all been good, haven't they?
Yeah.
All been good. Paul said, please ignore it. He's just found it. Oh, so Kevin's just saying we talked about weather earlier. It's -45 now with wind chill. Oh, stay safe, Kevin Austin, please.
I bet you probably have to shut your windows then, Kevin. I would have thought.
Yeah.
Carole would still have the window open. So, well, having said that, we came in the other day. It was so cold when we came back from London. We walked from the bus station, and our next door neighbour had their window wide open upstairs, and it was about -2 or something.
Cruising Games just saying, having been to TUI this year, we had a voucher. I'm booking with Dan. Also, it's a chalk and cheese. They asked if we wanted half board or full board.
And that was their cruise specialist.
Yeah. Kevin B saying, Kevin B's in the house. I never see you here. Paul said, Paul, does your wallet twitch at the sound of Dan's voice?
It's not his voice. Is we've got a WhatsApp group, and every time my phone pings, £20 jumps out of my wallet and starts making his way out the door.
Just 20?
Yeah, but it pings about 400 times a day.
So as admiring, Kevin's one of our patrons, and he was showing us. I don't know if you any guys out there is going a bit off piste here, really, because we're talking about obviously travel agent stuff. But he collects the cruise ship models. I don't know, but there's lots of people out there that collect cruise ship models. He just found a new home for them, and they look magnificent. I think there's 9 of them he's got there. So do let us know if you're a cruise ship model
I'll tell you what,
collector.
I'd like to collect motor show models. Do they still have them?
Motor show.
When they used to do motor shows, they used to have very glamorous ladies sat on the bottom of them. So if they still do them, I'll collect.
There was no glamorous ladies sat on the front of Kevin B's. How many have you got then, Dan?
I've got around 35 of them, roughly.
God. So Dan's in the lead at the moment then. Right, so Paul's just saying, question point. Dan has provided far more info than a high street TA. Managed to save up 3,000 on an existing booking with P&O. We'll always talk to Dan moving forward. Brilliant. That's great to hear. So many people saying...
That's from Dan's Uncle Paul. No, it's not.
Nick's saying, prices out, looking for feedback from my own Harvey from Southampton. Celebrity, our prices have gone up, haven't they? So it is
I think we've discussed this many times in public, private, whatever, but the price of cruising is definitely on the rise. But having looked at, we were just trying to piece together a Caribbean holiday for later in the year for Carole's sister, and seeing the prices of that, cruising is still very, very good value for money.
Yes.
In my humble opinion.
Yes, it is. But I loved being in the Caribbean with Azamara, but I just want more beach time. I love cruising, but I also love land-based holidays as well. And just having a beach holiday, I think me and my sister, that would be what we would like. So Frank and Jen from New Mexico says, so love to see you guys. Question for all of you. What is the best line for a British Isles cruise? We're looking ahead to 2025, coming from the US. Lovely to see all of you today. We did on Sky Princess a seacation that went up to Belfast and to Scotland, and that was great. I think it depends on, if I was looking for a British Isles cruise, it would be very itinerary driven for me, because I think, Frank and Jen, I would look at where are the places that you actually want to see in the UK rather than depending on the cruise line, because they do quite. Oh, they do quite diverse.
I know. Double
again. They do diverse itineraries. Would you agree, Dan?
Yeah, so I've done a 12-night British Isles. I did it on Princess. It was on Caribbean Princess. I would recommend Princess for them because they do pretty much the whole season when they're over in the UK. They do one ship is almost dedicated to doing British Isles round trip.
I think you mean do, don't you, Dan? They
do, of course. The other option, they don't do them as much, is Cunard or P&O do them as well. But the cruise line that seemed to do them the most would be Princess. And if you want, actually, to be fair, NCL do them quite a lot, but on older ships. But there are a few options, but Princess would be my recommendation out of all of them.
Okay, Martin's asking, what excursion company does Dan recommend for the Asia cruise? Think you are going, aren't you? And how are you thinking of doing the cities tours? Now, we are looking at going. This is not this year. This is the following year. We're looking to do more of Asia, aren't we, in 2025? We got our 2024 Asia trip coming up. It's only, what, 3.5, 4 weeks?
I think
next week, we will be actually announcing on our live the exact itinerary, so make sure you tune into our live next week. So Dan,
20, I want to say it's 22 days.
Is it 22? So 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 1 day.
We go Saturday then. We fly on a Saturday? Do we fly Saturday and get there Sunday?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. So I don't know if you can answer that for Martin.
My expertise isn't in Asia, if I'm completely honest. I know 2 people on the other side of the screen that very much know Asia better than I do. So for my first time going there, I will probably, if there are any, go with the cruise line my first time. So when I go in February next year, if there are any that I like the look of, I will probably try with the cruise line. Apart from if Paul and Carole just say, well, we can go and do it ourselves and go out and wander. But I'd probably be looking at the cruise line first of all. As for specific companies, the other companies we use are Venture Ashore, who used to be called Cruising Excursions, that are pretty good price, quite a bit cheaper at times than the cruise lines. But other than that, I'm not aware of too many Asia-specific ones.
Tom and Dom are just saying, in regard to Ambassador Cruise, we did 12 nights cruise. I found it was a really good experience, which is right. We've heard really good reports, and we've heard some that are not good. So I guess it depends on that cruise at the time, which is a lot of things, isn't it? Because sometimes you can be on the same ship with the same same itinerary, the same ship at a different time, and your experience can be very different. So so let's see. Let's do it. Let's see. Right. So Leighton Young's here. So I'm going to the Caribbean on Britannia for a Christmas cruise. It's my 3rd cruise with P&O. Can you give me any advice on what to expect, plus any tips on what to do in the Caribbean? Well, it depends on your itinerary, Leighton, where you're going. So do let us know if you're going to specific islands, because the Caribbean is a huge place. So let us know in another comment what cruise ports you're going to. P&O, we've got quite a bit of information on our website about P&O, so make sure you check out our articles there. And we've got a vlog series of Iona too. But I think the things that jump to my head with P&O is make sure you go and see the entertainment, because I think the entertainment we thoroughly enjoy, don't we, Paulie?
Yes. And what I want to say, and I don't want to be the monger of doom, but if P&O are still using Maleth Aero by then, I'd probably cancel my cruise and burn the money, because I'd rather do that than it's just dreadful.
Well, it seems to be at the moment, doesn't it? Yeah, hopefully.
See how Carole tries to be the voice of reason. It's dreadful. Everybody says it's awful.
Yes, there's been lots of discussion in Facebook groups, isn't there?
Are just riding roughshod over their passengers, and they're putting profit before people. So,
you heard it first.
Profit before people,
because everyone's saying it, actually, aren't they?
I hope that heads roll, whoever was in charge of that stupid idea. Because when going back to what I said earlier about trying to put a Caribbean thing together for Carole's sister Jane, to do a Caribbean cruise with P&O was a great option, because they were very sensibly priced. But as long as they're using that airline, I will never ever do anything that involves flying with them, because they are a nightmare.
It does sound like that everyone's having a lot of problems. So Nick's just saying, Dan, if booking through yourself, is it just online, as in search, confirm the pay, or do you do video calls for people and ask questions as the booking is finalised, like visiting a TA?
I've never done a video call, but it's very easy just to get on Zoom and have a video call. That's not a problem. We can do it. It's most people generally will give me a call on the phone or send me an email, and then we can do it either all over the phone or if you want to, we can set up a video call. It's not a problem.
Simon's asking, hi Simon Jones, are you both booked on the new Sun Princess? If so, have you heard much about the new things to do available on board? We aren't, and we haven't, because I haven't done any research about the Sun Princess because it's not on our radar at this time. But I don't know if Dan's knows more about the Sun Princess than us.
So I'm on the maiden voyage on the 8th of Feb, also with the Cruising Gays as well. So I look forward to meeting them. To be honest, I haven't looked at much. I'm kind of one of these people that doesn't look at a lot because I just want to go on and explore it when I'm there. I've looked at a few bits, like having the world. I always forget the name of it. It used to be Horizon Court, the buffet, the World Fresh Marketplace, or whatever they call it now. That's on deck 9, so that's going to be really strange rather than right up at the top. The new dome feature, the theatre, is going to be completely different. The new bar sort of magic area is going to be all very weird and hopefully wonderful. Yeah, I think it's just going to be very, very interesting. And I think a lot of the shows are kind of Cirque du Soleil style, Cirque kind of performances. So it'll be, should be very interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah. Paul's asking, are we planning any group excursions? I presume for our group cruise. We're not. We're trying to make ourselves available for everyone to meet up, that those that don't decide not to get off the ship. There is one place that we do want to go to. We were talking to Dan about the other day, and that's Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. And we must admit the Princess excursions were quite expensive. So that's one thing that we may consider doing our own by just taxi and paying for a ticket, because we looked online and the tickets were £18. And because we're in Copenhagen till I think it's 9 at night, isn't it, Dan? Then we've got plenty of time to do that. So, and that leads well on to Frank and Jen's question from New Mexico. Are there still openings for your 2025 group cruise? Yeah, we've had a bit of a surge of bookings the last week, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yes, please do get in touch with Dan if you're interested. It should be great fun. We met. If you watch us on our social channels, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you'll have seen that we met up with Dan and Emma Cruises this week, and we went to the theatre and watched Book of Mormon. That if anyone's seen it, it's like, oh my god, we were just laughing out loud, weren't we? It was brilliant. But before that, we had a business meeting, didn't we, Dan? We sat there in a very important office space, the pub, and worked out our plans or what our thoughts of how we envisaged each day on the group cruise and what we would like to do. And that was really useful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all coming together. I know it's a little way ahead. It's still a year away, isn't it? But it's all coming together. So that's brilliant. Cruising Gaze is saying, we were reading about agents being worried about people doing chargebacks on their credit cards and it hitting agents. Is that anything you're aware of?
For me, I've never had a client do it. They can do it. There are ways that people can do that if they really want to, but I've not had it happen to myself. I think it happens with bigger agencies, and I don't quite know why people want to do it or why they do it, but it doesn't affect me, thankfully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Mandy's just saying that she booked Norwegian Fjords on the Iona end of May and ticked the automatic upgrade as booked our first inside cabin. Did we do the right thing, or was that a bad thing to do? It's a gamble. However, your gamble could pay off very well, and you could end up in an outside cabin. You're unlikely to go from an inside to a balcony because it's not the next category. But it does happen though, Dan, doesn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, they do. Don't happen often. No. Generally speaking, your best chance of getting an upgrade is if you book with P&O, for example, a saver fare. because then they know that they can move you anywhere. If you've booked a select fare and you've chosen your cabin, then they don't tend to move you as much because you've chosen that specific cabin, possibly for a reason. But yeah, it's always a bit of a risk, and the problem is, unless you completely fight them to the end, they won't let you go back to your original cabin if you're not happy with it. So it is a risk. It's a bit of a lottery. If you're happy to do it, then play the game, really.
Yeah. Andrew's asking about packing for Adriatic in March, April. We went in May and we had such mixed weather, didn't we, Paulie? One day it was hot, one day it was torrential rain, and one day we had hailstones, and that was in May. So I think March, April, I would pack as if I was going to sort of Norway or Alaska, as in layers, so that you may have some really good weather in the Adriatic in March. It might be sort of spring, sort of warm weather, but it's nothing's guaranteed now, is it?
We had apocalyptic weather. We had like Carole
We
said,
did.
one day we had thunder and lightning and flash floods.
Yeah.
And we were huddled like in sort of under an archway in the middle of this town we went to visit in our shorts and t-shirts because it was beautiful sunny weather. And we were like marooned there for ages, weren't we?
Yeah, it was just bizarre. And then the boys all went to the bar because we were with Paul's dad and brother. And I was, I thought I'm just going to sit by the pool. And I got chatting to this lovely lady, and we were chatting away. And all of a sudden, the hailstones just come down, and we looked at each other like, "What is going on with this cruise?" It was just bizarre, wasn't it? Anyway, it is. So
again, I chose wisely by going to the bar.
So many lovely people here that I can't say hi to everyone, but I want to say hi to Sean because we missed him on our Patrons Live last night. So you were well missed, Sean. So lovely to see you here. So let's see. Kevin's sharing our New York episode, so make sure you do go and watch those. Banjo Tony's here, so love to see you. Hi for the group cruise. Which car park do you book for Sky Princess, please?
We book. We haven't booked it, have we?
Well, it depends on which terminal, isn't it, that it's going to be at. And we've often used CPS in the past.
We often use CPS, but what I will say, but we can't book it yet because I think you can only book a year in advance with Holiday Inn, can't you? But if you're driving, which obviously you are because you want to book a car park, we always go the night before and we use the Holiday Inn because they do quite a good stay and park package. Yeah. Which includes the night before the cruise in the hotel. In effect, 8 days parking because you park there, the night before the cruise and the 7 nights of the cruise, and it includes breakfast. But it includes up to 15 days parking. Yeah, up to 15 days parking. They're somewhere between 220 and 260 we've managed to get them for. But 7 days parking at the port's going to cost you 150, 160 quid, if not more now. Yeah. And with the Holiday Inn, you get your night stay, you get all your parking, you get breakfast included, and they put you in a taxi to the cruise port, regardless of which one it is. And as soon as you come out the cruise port, once you dock back into Southampton, you phone a number and a taxi comes straight back and pick you up and takes you back to the hotel. So it's very civilized. So if you're someone that's got mobility issues or you can't carry your luggage yourself, etc., it's very good. I know you've used Purple Parking before, haven't you, Dan?
So a long time ago, we used to, and it used to be on the other side of the river. We haven't used them for a long time. We either do CPS, which would be for Sky Princess, or obviously for some cruise lines it's ABP. But I tend to do those. I very rarely use the hotel parking. I just use the port just because I like the fact of driving up, especially with Princess, because Princess, they tend to sail out of one terminal and sail back into another. Obviously, if you do the way that you guys have done it, it doesn't matter. But with CPS, they'll just move your car between the terminals. So it just depends if you want the ease of just dropping your car straight there or want to get a taxi. It's completely up to what you want. But,
Rob CP is just saying, Cushion, can you tell us today where you're going on your 7-week holiday, or if not, any clues? Well, we're going to 4 different countries in Asia. We're going by plane. We're going by train. We're going by automobile and by cruise. So it's going to be.
We've got it.
I'm so excited about this trip. Are you?
So if we can throw in like a bike rickshaw,
which
there's a good chance of that,
yes.
Or even a human rickshaw.
A human rickshaw.
Yeah, where a man pulls them.
Oh, who's going to pull us to?
Well,
I wouldn't do that to anyone. That's just not fair.
I don't know whether Eddie the Beast Hall is over in the Far East with a rickshaw business.
One of the world's strongest men could help us out. Oh, Perfect and Sinless is here and just saying, can I please have a birthday shout out for my buddy Nick Gurr? You can. Happy birthday, Nick. Hope you have a fabulous time. Do you want to say happy birthday?
No, we charge £10 for a birthday shout out. He owes us a tenner now.
That's true. If you want a specific...
Carole's a rubbish businesswoman.
I am.
So we're doing Cameo specifically to do birthday shout-outs, happy anniversaries, that sort of stuff.
Oh.
Carole just gives them away for nothing.
I do. I don't mind.
So you owe us a beer next time we see her.
So Resume just saying, can you either explain the excursion credits on TUI River Cruises? What is the credit and how much are each excursion?
I could feel that one, Dan.
Yeah.
At the start of your cruise, they will give you... When we went, I believe it was £120.
It was.
And then every day there's an excursion. And it will say, oh, today's excursion to so-and-so is 18 quid. So if you want to go on it, 18 quid gets knocked off your 120 quid. When you get to the end of the cruise, if you haven't used it up, it disappears into the ether like a magic trick. And if you go over it, you have to pay the difference. But in all fairness, when we got on and they said you got £120 excursion credit, we thought, oh, what a waste of time that's going to be. And then we looked at the excursions and we couldn't spend it all. Yeah. It's certainly not like an ocean excursion. They're really, really good.
They're very reasonable.
A lot of them are just walking tours because
we splashed it and went on the Sound of Music, didn't we?
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, which was great.
But a lot of them are walking tours. But yes, it is very, very simple and straightforward, and it'll all become really apparent once you get on. Yeah. But the beauty is you don't really need to pre-book anything because there's only going to be 120. You know, when we went on, there was 100. There might be 150. I think pre-booking for certain things. If you do want to do like the big tours that are a long way away, then I think it might be worth thinking about that. Because excursions do get booked up, but the ones that are simple, the cheaper ones that were more local, were there was plenty of availability, wasn't there? Beth just saying amazing thanks because she always thought that you pay a lot more for personal service, but people don't understand that you don't. So we're glad that you. No, it's good, and it's right. You think in this world there's nothing for nothing, but it's like Dan said, what the cruise lines do is because in effect Dan is lightening their workload, so they pay Dan rather than you pay Dan for the benefit of him sorting it out for you. So, but it is a very valid question because, like you said, you think, well, nothing's for nothing, but it is when you're booking stuff with Dan. So, Cruisergate said they had some issues with Cruise Nation. Never again turned up at the hotel was uninhabitable. Couldn't get hold of them. Took 6 months to get refunded for replacement hotel. Well, I've said on here before, I had a thing with Igloo. We booked a thing with Igloo with Princess. Long story short, the cruise was cancelled twice because of COVID. And then when it went on the third time, we paid our balance however many months before. And then 6 weeks before we're going, they contacted me. Oh, any chance of giving us that 500 quid you owe us? And it's like, well, no, I've paid in full, got me credit card statement, everything. Oh, no, that's been allocated to another Princess cruise. So they basically made me pay it or I couldn't go. And then probably 2 months after the cruise, they sent me a letter saying, don't forget you got £500 future cruise credit. So basically, which I was never, ever going to use them again. So I lost 500 quid. Through them sneaky monkeys at Igloo. Kevin's just making me laugh. He said, thanks ever so much for the super chat, Kevin. $2. Thought you heard a ping in the background, Paul, so he's helping you out with. Oh, he thinks. Keep WhatsApping me, Dan. If I get £2 every time you what, I'll go £1 each for you. That's Kevin Benners. That's all right. I thought it was going to be Kevin Austin, because if that's a Canadian dollar, that's only worth about 30p. Isn't it?
So let's have a look at what other questions we've got here. So where is it? We've been there. I mean, thank you. Yeah, Brits on the ship are here. Lovely to see you guys. And they put the main Port Park Princess and can be found at CPS. Yeah, cruiseparking.co.uk.
Isn't our people who watch our
yes,
stuff lovely?
Everyone's just so helpful. And if you are enjoying our live stream with Dan, please do give us a thumbs up, because that shows that you enjoy these, you find them useful. It shows YouTube that we're doing all right. Davcat Travel's also saying MSC didn't do a bad fjords. The Yacht Club Lounge view when sailing in out of the fjords was amazing. Yes, because if you're in Yacht Club, then that'll be awesome. So that's good. Peter's asking, Peter from Australia, do you know the voyage from Seward, Alaska through the Northwest Passage to New York on Crystal Cruises? I don't. I've not heard that. Dan, have you heard that one?
Offhand, no. I'd have to look for it, but no.
Do you want me to field this one, Dan?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Of course I don't.
Can you imagine if Paul then spilled it all
it'd be
that
awesome, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. We'd be like, wow.
I'll just drop the mic.
And Moomin 547's here. So let me see you guys again. So started late, so sorry for already answered. Does Dan do bookings for US residents?
Depending on the cruise line, some we can't, some we can. But just go on to Paul and Carole's website, drop me an email, fill out their form, and we will see what we can do. Yeah.
Kevin said he'll model for a price for his ships. Brilliant.
What's that, $2?
And Davcat Travel said they just started collecting cruise ship models too. So far, Virtuous from NCR Getaway, but want to get one of all the thips we've been on. I'm sure she means ships. So Kazi UK said, I was stuck in a gridlock once thinking we were going to miss sail away, but a quick phone call to Dan, he was on it. Good old Dan. Brilliant.
Wow, what can I say?
What Kazi doesn't realise is that we were actually, my dad and I were on the same cruise. Kazi is probably one of our longest serving clients. And I actually asked the ship to leave before she got there, but they didn't listen to me.
They didn't listen?
No.
Oh, brilliant. So that's awesome. So let's have a look here. Mary just said as well, I've just sent email to Dan by booking form. It's so easy to do.
It is. It's so easy to do. And at the end of the day, it'll cost you nothing at all for Dan to have a look at something.
Yeah.
He can have a look at it and it'd be, so, like with the US booking, it'd be straight off a yes or no answer. If it's yes, right, how can we move forward from there? And then you can give him your specific, rather than give him a long spiel, say, well, this is what I want to do on this cruise line. He can say yes or no straight away. And then if it's a yes, you can go into further details and he'll be all over it. He'll be on it like a car bonnet.
Yes. And look, Kevin says he just heard a ping. Woo! 20. Oh, thanks, Kevin. That's really generous. Thank you so much. Catherine said she's hit the thumbs up before I load the comments. That's a good plan, isn't it? Do it before you even start. So,
is that like a pre-paying a gratuity? Giving a thumbs up before the live?
Travel Johnny and Will, you're late, guys. Tut.
Tell you what.
Anyway, let's go back to the questions.
I'm amazed they've never missed a cruise because they're never on time, are they? They're very naughty.
What do you mean they're never on time?
Every time they, like, if we're doing a members live or a live, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, just got here. Sorry, we're a bit late.
They're busy with the little fur babies.
And they never bring a note, do they?
They never bring a note. No. They don't. Rhonda just asking, Rhonda, if you scroll back to the beginning, Dan's talked about the solar prices for celebrity, so do check that out. Lewis is here. So Lewis and Andy and Sue, happy belated New Year, loving the New York vlogs. Looking forward to the QM2 videos. Yes, I'm still haven't finished this. It's got to be out tomorrow, and I still haven't. I'm hoping to. I've got a late night. We've got a late night of work tonight, haven't we, Paulie?
No, because I've been
just remember dumplings.
I've been working all
You've
day.
got to put the dumplings in.
Oh, sorry. Good night.
We've got. Paul's been out all day doing some car business, and I've made a lovely beef stew. And Paul said, "Should we have some dumplings?" So we made some dumplings, and we're going to pop them in. So excuse Paul while he puts the dumplings in the stew. Oh dear. So yes. So it's been so. I love doing the New York vlogs and editing those because we had such a great time with Kevin in New York, and now doing the QM2 videos, it was just fabulous. So I can't wait for that episode to go out. So let's have a look here. So Mandy's saying, P&O can provide parking without because we chose Cruise Connect option by Coach. Have you ever used this? I've heard you're boarded straight away and then you get to the ship. I haven't used that service, so I don't know if anyone else. Have you, Dan?
I've never used it, but I do know that as soon as you get to the terminal, porters will take all the luggage out of the coach, and you just go straight through to check-in, which is the same as everyone. It won't make too much of a difference. It just means you don't need to put your luggage to the specific door that it needs to go to. But a lot of clients do it, and I've never heard of many issues.
Fine. And another ping. Nick said, thank you for our super chats. That's making our evening. So thank you so much. Patrick and Francis say that they love stew and dumplings.
We're staying on till 10 o'clock now, by the way.
Keep pinging down.
The trouble is.
No, thank you, Nick. That was very generous.
We will never, ever, ever moan because I do think, I'm going to say we're successful. I do think we're successful. I think we're successful by the lovely comments. We might not get 100,000 views on every video, but the lovely comments we get and the lovely people that we've met through our, I'm going to do my X Factor now, through our wonderful blogging journey. But the trouble is, the video's late now because we had a Patreon meetup. We had a lovely meetup with Dan, and we did a Patreon's live last night. Yeah. So it's all your fault.
So look, Travel with Johnny Ware said they forgot their note. We'll soon have indigestion after shoving on a meal in the hotel restaurant to catch some of your life. Oh, bless you guys. Appreciate that. So let's have a look at these questions then. So let's have a look. So we said about celebrity, haven't we? And we said about the parking. Andrew Dimmock saying, how often do the treat cruise come like Emma did last year on Costa Smeralda, 270 for a week?
How long's a piece of string?
You can't. Am I talking rubbish now, Dan? But don't you have to book direct with Costa, or am I talking a load of baloney?
Normally you talk baloney, but you're not on that. So. I think there's a couple of suppliers we can possibly use to book Costa. However, yeah, we can't just book them straight as we do with all other cruise lines. You are almost better off just booking it direct.
Dakar said, don't hold back, Paulie. Say what you feel about P&O flights.
No,
you said it, so you don't need to have another rant.
I'm not having another rant, but I am having another rant. It makes me angry that the only reason that they could possibly do it is for the money. And then when they know that this Malith Airways is not set up to do this thing, the stories I've been reading, massive delays. Don't sit in the middle of the plane because the food will run out before it gets to you. There's no entertainment, as in there's no TVs on the seats. This is like an 8, 9, 10 hour flight. It's basically rubbish. And P&O have tried pushing it like they're doing you a favor. And that's the real kick in the spuds for me, is like to enhance your P&O experience. But when you complain about the Malith thing to P&O direct you to Malith.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but it's like if I said to Dan, right, I want to do a cruise, and we're cruising with Celebrity, and then he books me a flight, and it's nothing to do with Celebrity, I fully accept that if something goes wrong, I can't go back to Celebrity. I have to go to the airline. But this is a package that P&O is selling. And for them then to wash their hands of it just goes to show what a bunch of something houses they are.
Well, yeah, it is frustrating, and there's obviously huge issues there. But on to happier notes. Mandy Bender, we booked Carole with 12 to the Morella Voyager. Great price if that helps.
It does, because you'll get your flights for TUI.
Well, yes, you will with Morella, so that's a good thing. We've got lots and lots of information on our website about Morella. So we've got we're pausing the process of writing some more for our website all about Voyager, but also we've got Discovery and Discovery 2 and lots. So if you never cruise with Morella and you're considering it, then do just go straight to our website.
I'm a little bit behind because I've been making dumplings.
Christine Gray saying, I usually book with Jetline cruises. Oh, not heard of those. Never had any perks added. 8 cruises in total. Not went any perks, but we're done. Check price on cruise in the future. Of course he would. If you contact him, he will be it. He will be it. He will do it. Well, I'm sure he would. I'm not in charge of Dan, obviously. Brits on a ship are saying they're on Sun Princess and Norga as well, so hope to Natata. It'd be lovely to cruise again with you guys, but we're not on the ignore Orgrenor. Oh,
it started off poorly. It's getting towards the end, and it's getting poorly.
Yeah,
when is that? Is that
in the middle?
But it's in. Is this February? We're talking. You're going.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go anyway because we're in Asia.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we can't even be like having FOMO. Well, we can still have FOMO, can't we? Because we're still missing out, but we're missing out for quite a good reason.
We are. We've got an awesome time ahead of us. Just booked Princess Cruise mid-September. Skagway, Ketchikan and Glacier Bay to and from Vancouver. What excursions do you recommend? Do check out our Collings Dam Alaska series, because in Skagway we did the White Pass Railway, which was absolutely phenomenal, wasn't it, Pauline?
It is, but there's several ways you can do that. So yeah, do watch that episode. Also in Ketchikan, they've got
the Lumberjack Show.
The Lumberjack Show, which is phenomenal. And obviously there's some stuff on there, and you can't do any excursions in Glacier Bay unless you jump off the ship. Yeah. But check out our blogs. There's lots of good
Janelle, we went whale watching, and that was just phenomenal because we've seen, was it 21 whales?
21 whales. But all 3 of those places we cover excursions, so it's worth checking
check
them
those out. Shreds and Threads, you must do Tivoli. Yeah, that we want to do that. We definitely want to do that. So, and Morris said he did Tivoli independently, and it was great. So that's cool. Sarah's just asking about what do you recommend doing in Flam? Any must-dos? People always talk about the railway, don't they? And there's all the little troll cars as well now, isn't there? Have you seen the little troll? Are they called troll cars? They're like little bubble cars.
Little electric.
I think Tom and Dom might have done it. A few guys are still watching. And I know Cruise with Amber's done them as well. And I was thinking, if we ever got back to Flam, they're these little, I think they're little electric cars that you could just bomb around because it's so quiet, the roads there. It looks like a really fun thing to do. So I don't know if you've got any other ideas for Flam, Dan?
I've done the little Renault.
They're Renault,
yeah. And I've done the railway. The Renault little electric car was amazing. Until I pulled out on a road, and my friend who I was with, who's Norwegian, said, "Dan, you're on the wrong side of the road." I was like, "Okay, let's go."
Oh, no.
We've all been there.
Thankfully, it's very quiet, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, I did the Flam Railway with my godkids and their parents in August, and it was amazing. So that's a must-do as well.
And then Carole just saying for the group cruise about getting organised shared taxis. I don't think we'd be organising ourselves, or Dan would be organising minibuses. However, more than happy if there's lots of people that want to do, we could see if we can, sharing taxis to cut down the prices. That won't be a problem whatsoever. Davcat Travel saying that in Flam we did the Gudvangen ferry. Was an amazing trip along the fjords before a coach back to Flam. Highly recommend it. Oh, fab. I've not heard of that. So that's good. Kevin said, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. It certainly does. So thank you for that, Kevin. Leighton says, can I ask for your website, Paul and Carole? It's paulandcarolloveTotravel.com. So if you do that, or even search paulandcarole.com now, because we've now bought that domain too, so that anyone's searching for that.
Yeah.
Then
and it's Carole got an E on the end as well.
But if you just search it on YouTube, then on Google, then it'll come up.
This little P, little C.
Little P, little C.
It's little P's, but big P. But it's little P, little C, isn't it? It's paulandcarolloveTotravel.com.
Yes, I'm sure Kevin will have put it in the comments somewhere. Cox is Jim and Dwayne saying a friend said evening.
You said Cox's, huh?
Cox's, did I?
Yeah. Just like the apple. Cox's Pippin.
Anyway, Hawks Travels said a friend said an evening visit is beautiful. It's supposed to be, and then we are there for 9 o'clock until 9 o'clock sail away. So it might be good to hit. I've already looked at sunsets is around about 5:30, so it would be good to hit it at that time, but it's a worry about getting back to the ship, isn't it? So we'll have to see. Paul said he's booked CPS for the group cruise months ago. So that's good. Here you go, Kevin. He's good, isn't he? He's good. So that's what you just need to search.
So our group cruise is in May.
Yes.
But sunset is 5:30. So that's quite.
I'm sure we were talking about it the other day, weren't we, Dan?
Oh,
And we
yeah.
had a look to see.
Is that because it's Scandinavia?
Don't know. Nick and Tracy are asking, how did you meet Dan? PS, we'll definitely speak to Dan when it's time to book our next cruise. We met Dan on Sky Princess. We were doing the where were we? We went to
the 6-night Seacation, the British Isles one.
That's right, yeah. And we sort of followed each other on Instagram, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And you just sent a message and said, look, we're getting, if you're around, you fancy getting together. And so we did. And Emma Cruises and her dad were on the same cruise. We had a fabulous time, didn't we? And Dan and his dad had an aft suite, and it was lovely because we went there for drinks and.
We had an aft balcony, didn't we? Which was very nice.
You did, yeah.
We did? Yeah, it was lovely. But and to be fair, Dan, really, we didn't know that you were a travel agent in essence then. And you never, what I loved about Dan is that he never tried at any point during that cruise to say, can I book you a cruise? Can I book you a cruise? I'm a travel agent.
He did to me every day.
He didn't. And, it wasn't towards the end of the cruise. And he just said, if you do, want to book a cruise, he said, I know you use certain people at the moment, but if you do, then just let me know. And left it at that, because I hate being harassed. We get emails every day about all sorts, and it drives me insane because it's just, leave me alone. And Dan just never harassed us at all, and that's what I loved. Rhonda's saying there better be a rickshaw adventure in Asia. Paulie doesn't know it yet, but there is. Paul's going on Ventura for his 40th wedding anniversary in July, so that'll be lovely for your celebrations. It's my sister's birthday today. Can I get a shout out to Flossie Moko?
So you started that? Nick's prepaid.
Nick's prepaid.
He's
given us a super chat, so all sorted. Yeah. So thank you.
So happy birthday, Flossie Moko.
Yes.
If Carole had said that, she probably would have called her Quasimodo, wouldn't you? Like with your teeth then. But it's Flossie Moko.
It is. So Barry's just saying West Key Shopping Centre car park is great for cruise parking, only £5 a night. It is. Our concern there is just security.
My concern is when you Google parking at West Key, the first thing that comes up is, and I kid you not, there is a very good chance of your vehicle being damaged or stolen if you leave it overnight. That's the first thing.
Googling it now.
Yeah, Google. Claire's not here, so she can't do it. But I went on there, and I know it's daft because we've parked there loads of times. When we do like we always do a pre-stay. I don't know what it is with Southampton. We love going out in Southampton, and it's great for a pre-stay. And it's just you don't have to worry about driving down in the mornings. And we've done probably 6 or 7 different hotels. And we'll always park in West Key. And we never worry about parking in West Key for one night. But for 4, 5, 6, 7 nights, for some reason, Carole's like, oh, I don't know about that, mate. But she's happy to do it the first night. So now we just usually do the Holiday Inn. Yeah. And in all fairness, it almost sort of we've never got, you can't get it's not like you can get a hotel in there for 30 quid a night. It's always a oneer, isn't it? It's always 100, 120 or whatever.
Yes.
So it's never cheap anymore. I mean, we did stay at a place called the Star Inn, which is on the High Street, and I have to say, the Star Hotel, and it was like going back in time. And we booked this hotel, and it genuinely was £42 for the night. This was
quite a few years ago now.
But sometimes you'll go on there, and it'd be £200 a night, and then other times it's cheap. But we paid £42, and when we went to our room, we actually had 2 bedrooms.
We did.
It was like the biggest place we'd ever stayed in, but it was a hovel, wasn't it?
Well, it was a little bit dated.
It was a hovel.
But Southampton hotels can be crazy prices. Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason for them. I'm sure you're people that book all the hotels in Southampton. Sometimes you can get Premier in for 50 quid and then it'll be 150 quid. Same with the Holiday Inn. The prices are like, so it's just, I recommend just book early because they do get booked up. So, so let's see what other questions we got. So I'm conscious we've gone over the hour, but we're happy to answer more questions if anyone's got them. Millie said, I've used the option for coach. It took the stress out of driving from the northeast of England. Yeah, get that. Kevin said, you are indeed successful as you. Oh, excuse me.
As you are very real.
As you're
I'll
very
finish
real.
it for you.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Amanda said that I've used Cruise Connect. Takes forever to get to Southampton from Blackpool. The good thing is you just have to wait for you. Yes, because that's another good thing, isn't it? And Amanda's been showing her ship collection today on it Discord. She's got a lovely Cunard display. So let's have a look. The stew buzzer's going. Oh dear. Cassie's also said, I highly recommend you use Eve Cruise stopping at Madeira. Best fireworks ever. Yes, we've heard that. It's very, very popular, isn't it? And they get a lot of ships in because it is pretty spectacular. Madeira is a beautiful island anyway, isn't it? So I would happily go there any time of the year. But yeah, I bet that's pretty special. Donna's here. So it's lovely to see Donna from Perth in Australia. Hello from tomorrow. Last week, Mark Wilson asked to try to Perth. We are very happy to reach out to Mark, assist any friend on your channel. Oh, thank you so much. It's lovely to see you here. And the villagers skip north. They said, just want to stop by for a quick hello. WrestleMania got me on to you. So glad he did. Have a great day. Well, thank you so much. So Mark said, thanks, I'll stay in touch. Only celebrity excursions are mega. They are expensive. So let's see. Andrew said they booked direct with Saga, but we'll definitely contact them for our next adventure. And then Tomo's saying we'll contact you to book a cruise. Mandy said we want to see Paulie pulling Carole in a rickshaw. Oh, that'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious, especially with my back.
Exactly. So West Coast Coach, I'm thinking of doing the MSC in Magnifica before my first Virgin Voyages Scarlet Ladies trip next month. Would you advise against MSC for a fortnight? No, I would. We did a fortnight, and it was fun. We would thoroughly enjoy it.
Sorry, I'm just grumpy. I'd advise against everything you said on there. No. MSC and Virgin, but that's just me. I'm just a grumpy old Paul.
He is. Both those cruise lines are fun cruise lines, aren't they? MSC can be a lot of fun. So, and if the price is right for a four-nighter, then then do it.
I think the funniest piece of advertising I've seen recently is Virgin has started describing themselves as giving you a luxury yacht experience. So that did make me smile. That's some imaginative advertising from Virgin right there.
So anyway, Philip is saying the Westkey is now £6 a night.
Oh, why not paying that sort of money?
And Christina's saying you won't be able to enjoy Tivoli and May after sunset. It's $21.15. Well, that's not what Google said, was it? So
and her name's Christina.
Yes, I'm sure.
She sounds like a local. Johnny Jensen used to play for Denmark. You're not related, are you, Christina? He played for Arsenal, didn't he? And then when Denmark won the Euros, this is because I'm old now. Look, you won't remember this, Dan, but Denmark won the Euros, but they didn't even qualify for the Euros. And right at the last minute, there was one of the Eastern European, Eastern Bloc, whatever they were called at the time, countries that couldn't fulfill the obligation. And I can't remember why. And Denmark came in as a wild card and they won it. And I'm sure Johnny Jensen scored the winning goal. Oh, if Google Claire was here now, she'd be all over that.
Travel with Johnny Will said, don't be a grump. We're off on MSC tomorrow. Yeah, exactly that.
Sorry about that.
And Chris, Daft got told we did premiere at the airport before one of our cruises. Traffic chaos till a 50-minute drive into a 4-hour one. Yeah. It can be difficult. And Christina says, from Copenhagen, yes, one in 1992.
And did Johnny Jensen score the winner? And is he your dad?
Lewis has also used the Premier Inn at Southampton Airport Christmas cruise and was half the price of Westkey Premier, only 4 miles from the port, which is why Daft Cat Travels just said that. So get that. And Tina says, Dan, we need to see your cruise ship display on Discord. I feel a ship war starting.
Oh my god. Is Carole going to have to make a new? Because obviously now Strictly's over now until the end of the year. So I think Carole's took the Strictly chat off and the Rugby World Cup chat. So is that now going to be replaced?
We've got lots of great chats. We love Discord.
Look at my ship.
If you're interested in just having more access to us and behind the scenes and what cruises. Is that another ping? Woo! No. Then please join us on Patreon, our YouTube member, which gives you access to Discord, which is like just like a chat app, and it's just a fabulous place to be. I've learned so much from Paul's learned so much from everyone on there who share their cruising experiences too. So and Dave Travis said, good job all that beeping was in his WhatsApp. So let's have a look. And Barbara's I've just booked Ibis budget for our Patreon meetup in May. Yes, we had a Patreon meetup this week in London, which was just so much fun. And we've arranged for the next one in Southampton.
That's good though, 62 quid.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
That is good. So let's see if there's any more questions. I'm aware we're way over time now, isn't there? Quasimodo. Hilarious. So let's see. I think so have you got any more? Oh, we've got Six Nations coming up.
So I forgot about that. When will that start?
Don't know.
Oh, I'm just trying to think. I'm going to probably be in Asia for the whole of the Six Nations. So if it's a 4 o'clock kickoff in the UK, that's going to be 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Oh, what a great time to watch a game of rugby.
I just want to say, Kate's just popped in from Melbourne. Hey, lovely to see you. Just about to get on another cruise. Kate's gone cruise mad. And Sandra Meredith has just popped in from Melbourne. So, fabulous.
Well, that's good. We don't have to do our Zoom with them now, do we?
I know.
Cheers.
I just wanted to say, it's so great to, Kate said it's embarkation day today. So that's awesome. And you're having lovely weather, aren't you, down under? So that's good. I just want to say before, if anyone's got any more questions, I'm sure Dan and ourselves are happy to carry on and answer those. If you...
I'm not, though. I'm going to start watching the telly.
No. Our next 2 lives are actually going to be on Wednesdays because sadly we've got a funeral to go to, and we've got another appointment that we forgot we had. So the next 2 Wednesdays will be our lives, but I'll make sure I put that on our YouTube. But if you do enjoy our lives, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notifications button, because also when we go to Asia, it looks like we're potentially, because we're going to be between 7 and 9 hours in front, and it looks like our lives. Well, the time zone goes over a wide area.
Well, does it? There'll be people out there now all over that.
We are going to be doing lives when we can do them. And so if you want to be notified, do make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications button. So Kate's saying it's 32 degrees today. Lovely. And Tom is asking, what do you mean by a group cruise? Go to our website and just look at the group cruise. And it's basically that we're inviting people to come cruise with us. Obviously, we're not paying for them. You have to pay for yourself. But there you are. Cruising Gate said, are you doing a fancy dress one night for the group cruise?
No, I don't think Kate's saying it is 32 degrees. I think Kate's saying it's maybe 32 cruises today, because there's no degrees.
Kate only started cruising in the last year or so. Yes.
Oh.
You should know that.
Well, I don't know nothing about it. I don't even know.
But fancy dress one night, that's quite interesting. What do you think? Look at Dan's face. He's thinking, oh. What about you, Paulie?
I'm not saying anything. It would be funny though, wouldn't it?
And Kevin's giving you the link there. Thomas, and are you chartering your own cruise? Not on this one, but stay tuned, because you never know what might be happening in the future.
No. There is approximately 200 people going on our group cruise at the moment. So, but not enough to charter. What's Sky Princess? 3,000? Is it, Dan? 3,500 people?
Yeah, doing about 3.5. I think actually just over that. Yeah.
Kate saying no, it's 1 year of cruise. And I told you, look.
Well, I don't know.
And some saying it's hot.
It's hot.
It is hot there. So, Anne, did you want to just say anything to everyone?
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Just drop the mic. Good night, Dan out.
No, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If anyone's got any questions, obviously not tonight, they can just drop me an email, fill out the form on Paul and Carole's website. More than happy to answer anything. I'm pretty open. If I can help with anything, I will. If I can't, if it's a booking specific question that you've booked elsewhere, I can give a general advice. I can't do specifics because I can't look into your specific bookings if it's not done with us. But yeah, no, happy to help anyone with anything if I can.
Brilliant. And I want to just say thank you for everyone to joining our live tonight, and thank you for the super chats. We very rarely get super chats, don't we? So that's been a great surprise. So appreciate that. We'll have to get that pinging going every week. You have to come on every week, Dan.
I'm just going to have the ping set up to go every 5 minutes now.
And Fraser just joined as well. Even I hope you're all well. Paul and Carole have tried to make one of your lives while you're live. Hello, yes, it's lovely to have you here. So, but a bit late because we're just winding up.
Now, yeah. Nothing you said, mine, Fraser. We're just that's it now because my dumplings are going to be ready soon.
So but you won't know what I'm talking about because you only just got here. So you have to go. Make sure you go back and watch it. So yes, we're off to have our stew. Thank you everyone for joining. Thanks Dan for your knowledge and your presence. It's been as wonderful as ever. We'll be getting Dan back on when we're back from Asia. I'm sure we'll arrange for to do it sort of 3 or 4 times a year, isn't it?
Well, while we're in Asia, if we can work at a time, we'll just get Dan to do our lives for us. Apart from when he's on the Sun Princess, obviously. Right then. So thanks again all, and we will speak to you soon.